attack, Demo to his left, medic behind both of them, and then your flank in some combination of top left. Objective, do some damage, do a bomb, collapse on, or be ready to receive the soldiers. And if those soldiers are bombing behind, you push across and take the 6v4. And then there's a more passive top. Looks like this. So similar idea, except your medic plays top left to avoid the low ground that the bombers are going to be trying to kill them on. You have your pocket and your pocket scout top left, like you have your pocket, your flank scout and your flank soldier on right. This soldier in general is not very good here because there's no beam, so you can start here or just completely avoid it and try and go behind or something. It's kind of up in the air as a roamer, but in general, this is sort of the area you want to be playing, and you want to be playing on the right side of the map. Be cool with the mids. Just move on, and then like hold it. So
Right.
holding mid, this is a good evens hold. Something like this is a pretty good evens hold. Um, Disad, you can play farther. In fact, you should be playing farther back. And then your flank scout's kind of floating. He can be up left and maybe get a pick off the spam that's happening here. Maybe he can try and back cap through lower, playing towards kitchen side. There's a lot of spots a flank scout can be playing here. The big idea about this disad hold is you have these two soldiers on high ground who are near enough to beam to be getting buffed, like right here. These dudes come to the edge, they get their buff, and then they're up top. What they're looking to do is, again, similar ideas. We're spamming the first person through, particularly Saw. And then Catwalk is another really good one. You should often be trapping this on disad. The best trap is the one that's in this corner. That one's really good. Um, Ones on the left side in this corner tend to catch people. That one's pretty good. I misplaced it, but you can put it on this lip here, and people walking up this don't see it until they're here and dying to the. Ignore my sticky, but you can put the stickies on the lip, and then they're dead when they walk up here, and then they get deaded on and they die. More good disad traps are the classics here. You can also put traps on the end of these poles over here, and then scouts or people who walk up to the edge of these poles not paying attention can get deaded on. But yeah, you're looking to use your soldiers to spam and try and either make them use or drop the first player through. And then from there, your roamer, whichever one of these soldiers he is, he can drop off, reload, and then recommit if he has to. Um, and your pocket in general should be top left because it's safer and he's really looking not to die. He's here to spam saw or lower or wherever they're coming. And he's here spotting lower, and then he shoots some rockets and jumps out. So when pushing into second, a large majority of the time, Snakewater is pushed through lower. There's a couple reasons. One of them being it's really big, it's really open. Um, the other reason being that once you control this shack right here that I put the demo man on, when you control this shack, you control pretty much the point. Or at least you gain. Okay, let me rephrase what I'm saying. So when pushing lower, the most important part of the whole second for the team pushing is this shack right here. Because until you control this shack, you are on low ground the whole way, and it's blind. Once you control the shack, you gain vision and you gain a favorable spam angle with the beam underneath it. And the really important part is that once you control this shack, you gain a pivot to go anywhere in the second you'd like to go. So yeah, this shack is super, super important when pushing into the second. In general, this is like trying not to use, play, or add, just trying to get in, take a fight that we know we're going to win because we just have numbers or uber ad or something, right? You're trying to get in without using and then take the fight that you have that's advantageous. Saw is like a more roll type of push, or if they're like down a couple players and they have a sniper. I like Saw a lot. Reason being that Sniper Bats is ridiculously strong. He has vision of the entire second, and he just terrorizes anyone trying to push lower. So if they have a sniper and you're pushing off whatever player ad, Uber ad you're pushing, you're trying to go Saw. You're going to bully things out if they're close. And then the idea is that your soldiers are jumping from here off the top of this wall and then strafing into bats. or strafing onto this fence. But in general, they want to be jumping into the right side of this map. And then that just creates the space in bats and on bridge, and it gives the space to be fighting. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And holding the second, the way I like to hold the second is I like pocket here. I like my demo over here. I like my roamer on top of him. I like my scouts here. My medic is on bridge. And the idea is that there's a lot of spam top left from your demo and your roamer. Your pocket soldier's here, spotting the right like this. He's spotting right. And at the same time, if they're walking in with a beam and a sniper, he's just taking this exchange around this corner aggressively into the medic, demo, and sniper, who if they're trying to pick a sniper or something. Similar ideas is if you do a double sack and they start trying to push up into this, as a pocket soldier, you can be here looking to take this very aggressive exchange. It's not really aggressive, but it's a really strong exchange into a team trying to push into this lobby here. The sooner you exchange, the better as the soldier here. So as the pocket soldier, what I'm really looking to do is I'm really trying to prevent them from crossing this line across this, like this line right here. You know, the one I'm drawing between here and here. That's sort of an invisible line. You're really looking for once someone walks past that and you see a beams on them and you know the medic close or whatever, you can take this exchange into them here. Is there any questions about how this like evens hold works?
Nope, makes sense to me.
Cool, and let's talk about holding distance. I kind of like holding this ad like this. I think it's pretty strong. This soldier's committed enough to be powerful, but not committed enough to where he's dying if they push through on him. This demo's here holding some sort of trap. I really like bats and lower are very strong traps. You have your roamer sitting on this pipe right here. You have your flank scout sitting here spotting top left through cheese. Your pocket scout's building on the shack, and your medic is, depending on how disad you are, is either here spotting to maybe arrow this guy, or if it's really huge ad and like you just don't want your medic to die, you're playing more out. Questions about disad holds?
No, but
Sounds like
question
no.
about
Yeah,
holding lobby. Is it like Sunshine where we can have our whole team in there at some point, or is that pretty much only when we're looking to push in?
I mean, again, the reason I don't like trying to hold lobbies is that when things get chaotic, doors get stopped being paid attention to, and then there's a lot of really free flanks and stuff. So I tend to be ready, get into lobby, do my business, get out of lobby. It just gives me control over where the soldiers get to kill my medic from and stuff. It's just, I like it better personally, but there are teams who will play up in lobby. But yeah, so when you are holding this lobby, your demo's here holding top left. You have your pocket. That's really deep. I want your pocket more here. And then as a pocket scout around here, I'm just really making sure nothing's getting in lower behind us while this flank sack is going on. My beam scout's on beam. Beam should probably be somewhere around here. Then your flank over here, and then you have your roamer wherever he wants to die from. Oftentimes, I really like this top left sack. You jump off this wall, you skip through, and then your scout's behind it. If you're getting really, really shit on, and like you just can't get through the top left, or your roamer can't do the jump like that, you can sort of switch it to where your flank scout and your demo, well, mostly your demo at first is taking this beam and spamming. While that's happening, your flank soldier should be trying to get in through lower here, jumping in on this medic, and then your flank scout jumps around the demo into this into the sack that your soldier is doing through lower. There are also very powerful sniper ideas into this last. So for example, every time a medic in this game ever has heard there's a sniper call, he's going to be playing in this corner like that. And then that means that, one, it makes it very predictable for a sack. So for example, a really strong sack is you show your sniper, he takes a couple shots, you make sure he's in the corner, and then you can send your soldier from either lower or top left. He can just hug this wall all the way and then jump off this corner and jump over and onto this medic. Alternatively, when they're playing in that corner, it means you don't really want to be trying to push top left because it's just like an impossible push here. So again, you put your demo, he's sticking this, and then you're rotating more pressure top right, trying to pressure the dude who's here watching this out. And then once you pressure him out, you have a peek with the sniper into the medic over here. Are we cool with how the sniper works?
Yep.
Yep.
Is there any questions you want me to address? I'm kind of speeding through it for Dennis's sake, but if you have questions, feel free to ask. So when we're pushing into last, top left is they're down like 3 players get into last. That's what top left really is. Sometimes you can punish teams who like don't know they have disad sitting top right, and you can use into them here. but very rarely are you looking to use top left. Most of the time, this is a hold the Uber door. Lower is a really big ad. It's kind of like it has similar principles to Dungeon on Sunshine. It's far away from the point, but it's pretty blind until you're through. And if you have really big ads off of mid, like their med dies, your doesn't, you have like 70 ad, you can take this shit into lower, push them back into spawn, sticky the spawn, and then play point. So yeah, let me make a point of this actually. So on almost every Uber you take, Dennis, the main objective is either A, mulch them in the first place you get to, or B, push them into spawn at the beginning of the Uber, have you sticky and reload, and then while you're reloading and watching your stickies top left or top right, depending on which Uber you're taking, your flank scout is putting the Uber to the opposite side of you, and then everyone's jumping into the Uber on the opposite side. So this is a more easily demonstrated. Sort of like this. So a top right Uber, I'll break it down. This is a smaller ad, almost like top right in Sunshine, or you have really huge ad. Top right in general is a really strong push. You come through top right, there's a gun here, you get rid of the gun. There's a gun here, you get rid of the gun. And then what you're really looking to do is you're looking to put your demo on top right with stickies. You want your stickies on right spawn. And then your beam scout, after he establishes his demo in right, is looking to take this beam on top of point like this, and then looking to collapse with this flank in his pockets. And as the pocket soldier was happening, is you're getting a buff in here, and then as you get buffed, you come in top right like this, and then you just wait for this Uber to develop. You're really not looking to get in and take early damage if you can help it. You're looking to play advantageously in this doorway. Once we've established top right control, you're coming over here, again, spamming, but only one rocket. You always want to have 3 rockets ready to jump onto the damage when it's called. And then some sort of damage is called or whatever, and then you can jump in. You can also be a little more aggressive. So after they sticky top right, you can come in as a pocket, either waddle or jump to this position. It's a head glitch spam angle. It's very strong. It's hard to be spammed out. And then once everybody's ready, you're in with the team.
So on that final team collapse, should I be in on that, or should I just keep watching right?
You're looking to hold right for a couple reasons. One is that while the team is in right, your flank scout, your pocket scout can be, if like they're like really in spawn, you can be playing point with your scout. But if they're still in top left, you're really looking to hold your ammo until like the initial collapse happens. You don't want to not have ammo at the end of the fight. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got you.
So you really want to be looking to hold your ammo till the end of the fight if you can, and then you're either unloading them on spawn or you're unloading on point to secure the objective and like the W.
Right, word.
Is there any questions about Snake that you?
Could you just explain the rationale behind like why left side or the like similar to Sunshine, the left side big door is where you go when you guys have like they're 3 down, you have player ad, and why the other opposite side is like more for a large Uber ad or very slight Uber ad, you said?
So yeah, I like top left because in general Ubers through top left are really bad. Just because, I mean, like I said, unless they're just holding in this doorway on disad, you're never going to be getting a good Uber onto a team through. And the reason I feel that way is because there can be a soldier here and a soldier on top, putting spam on you as you come in. Then they send the soldier, and the rotate from wherever they are to you is not very long. So either A, the pushing team comes in on big Ubrad trying to hold, right? And if it's even, I'm trying to explain why it's bad to use through top left on like big ads. And the reason it's bad is because A, it's far from the point, and B, it's hard for like, it's easy for teams to recommit through right, if that makes sense. So when you push top left, oftentimes, it's like you're using the first part of your Uber to take control of the more advantageous side to end the Uber on, right? Does that make sense? Like as the team who's getting Ubered into, I'd much rather be fighting from top left than top right, because this high ground doesn't exist, and it's more I have better vision throughout the whole fight. Versus if I'm forced to try and fight this point from the aggressive team's left, but the defensive team's right like this, I don't have initial view of the point, so it's much harder for me to engage this point. Like, you know, it's hard for me to swing. Versus on the left side of the point, it's much easier for you to span this point wide over here.
Yeah.
So it's much better to hold top. I like taking the better side from them. And also, if they have players, getting in top left is just fucking impossible. Like, you just get so juggled here. The doorway is so small. Your med just gets kind of shit on in this doorway. It's hard to like get a good Uber through top left like that, unless they're again sitting in here eating the Uber like this. But that's very rare. Most of the time, you're looking at a team. So like think of the default place teams are going to be holding on this side is on top of point, and I don't think going top right like facilitates great control of point. You know, it's like it's not great. It's much better to go lower or through top right on ads like that.
Okay. Makes
Does that
sense.
answer your question? Or do you want me
It
to go
does.
more into depth? Okay, cool.
Where would you hold if you're the defensive team on last? That you saying top left is better?
See, I'm not gonna. I do, but I don't want you guys to play. So the way I want us to play on evens is I want us. Oh, hold on.
Okay.
If I move Dennis from top right, are you guys gonna struggle? Because in general, I think having a demo either holding lower or top left is like almost always better. Reason being is that there's no equivalent to this top left, right? This is just hard to spam, eat 100 damage from this pocket who's getting tanked right here, right? So this position is very, very strong for top right. There's not really a similar spot on top left, maybe here or something, but it's still not as good because you're not as close. And where does your medic stand? In the middle of the spam, right? So it's not as good. I think holding your pocket here is really strong for locking out top right. Especially, again, this is on even. On this side, we never want to be this close. But on evens, where we can take an exchange if they give it to us, this is a pretty powerful way to hold this. And then demo top left just completely shuts down these two angles. It's just, there's nothing like, there's no way, you can't out spam stickies, right? Like the way you normally work top right is you spam the scout or the soldier who's holding drop down, and then you work a sniper top right like I was talking about. But there's stickies here, there's not, it's so significantly harder to do what I was talking about. It's really strong, and then I like having like a soldier here because he's close enough to a beam where he's spotting and holding this doorway. And if he comms for a beam, the beam's literally on him as soon as he needs it. So yeah, I like this on evens. If this is too hard, we can do the pug hold like this, where you do. Right, we've seen this. This probably looks more familiar than what I was talking about.
Yeah, this is what we usually do. Well, I can definitely try the left hold.
I definitely think this is weaker. It just doesn't feel as good. So yeah, try it out and see how you feel. If it's not as good and doesn't work, don't try and force it. Do what works for your team. And then on this, I always want my medic on top of point. I want to scout with. It depends on how big the dis at. If it's more than 40% dis at, I want both my scouts off classing. If it's not more than 40%, you're building, pocket, demo, and then your roamer can be like here or here or here or even here. All right, there's a bunch of spots your roamer can be, but the other four are kind of solid. You have your medic on top of point. You have one scout building, and then your flank scout has a couple options if you want. Sniping from top right is actually a really good angle. Oops, that's the wrong person. Sniping from top right is a really good angle because you can be very passive and have full control of this door, and at the same time be close enough to spawn to switch out. And so it's generally a free use on them if they come top right. That's another reason I don't really like pushing top right. Or he can be on heavy back here, or maybe he's building a gun, some shit, right? Yeah, that's disad.
Where did I didn't see flank scout on?
So flank scout on where?
Even.
He's sort of floating, but in general he's nearer to the flank than he is the beam. But he's not really like, you don't have to hold this drop down anymore because the demo's here. You're not in a door with your soldier, so you're really looking to be floating around beam and then playing that rotate role. Find where the help is needed and then help.
Okay.
A big mistake is that if a soldier is fighting in this doorway, do not drop into the doorway to help the soldier. The way you help that soldier is you let him take the beam and you play off this angle shallow like this. When you play this angle shallow like this, you let this dude take the full brunt of the damage, but then you're here shooting whatever he's shooting as they peek in. You're not trying to fight this doorway with him out here. You're fighting this doorway with him here. That make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Is there any questions about any of the map, by the way? Like any point, any hold, any push?
No, I think we're good.
We haven't talked about holding second, but Do we need to? Do you feel like that's
I
Yeah,
mean,
like
it's not-
holding
it's not-
second from mid.
yeah.
So like you're holding your own second.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. And so the way I think is I like doing this, I like have a demo playing on this see-through spot, and then he can have traps all over the place here. You can have one there. You can have one here. You can have some here. You can have some here. You can put him on this lip. You can put him on this other lip. You can hide him in the rock. It's just having your demo able to sticky this lower just locks down and slows down the team pushing in this lower so significantly. And he's also safe because he's not taking any spam, but he has vision of his trap. So this fence makes this spot really strong. My favorites are one here and then one in this lower like that. Those are my favorite traps on demo. And then what you have is you have a beam somewhere around here. Then you have a scout either on top of this thing, on logs, that is your pocket scout. You have a pocket soldier either on this corner if he's getting tanked, and if he's not getting tanked, he's up there. And then your roaming is playing over here. Be on top of the thing, be on it. He has a lot of hiding spots you can be doing stuff from. And then your flank scout on top of this fence like this. That's how I like holding on evens. And then this side you play in bat. Any questions? That makes sense?
Yep.
Cool.
Alright, that should be it then, yeah?
I think so.
Yeah, I think
Nobody
so.
has any questions?
I think this map we were playing pretty similar to what you mentioned anyway, so.
Honestly, that's just because I told my team everything that Keyu told me, like, back in fucking season 3, so.